You know, we were so looking forward to trying these biscuits and gravy potato chips that Tudors has got and everything. Easier said than done. Liz.
Apparently, there's been a run on them.
Oh, gosh.
Good morning. Come on up to that mic. Get nice and close to it. There.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited. Sorry I couldn't find the chips. I went to like 5 different Krogers, 2 different Walmarts in the Valley area. I stopped at a Kroger even here. It was like, maybe it's out of my market, but maybe there's still some here.
Yeah.
Couldn't get them, but I promise the next shipment we get from Mr. B's to our office, you guys will get some.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's talk about these chips, because we talked about it a couple weeks ago on the air, and come to find out, these are a big deal.
It is a very big deal. We're going to welcome to the studio Liz Epling from Tudors.
Hello.
And Liz, we came across this story, this little nugget of information regarding your partnership with Mr. B's. How did that happen?
Yeah, funny story. So Mr. B's wanted to kind of expand some of their lines. They're interested in bringing some unique flavors to their customers, something that you don't really see all the time. Mm-hmm. And they thought of this biscuit and gravy potato chip, and they were like, who has better biscuits and gravy than Tudor's Biscuit World, right?
That's right.
So Mr. B's comes to us, say, hey, we got this idea for this chip. We'd love to have you a part of it. Even more so, we'd love to take this as an opportunity to make a donation to a charity of your choice. Mm-hmm. We have been long-time partners with Make-A-Wish West Virginia. We actually just finished celebrating 25 years last year.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you so much. We raised over $40,000 last year, so this was just a continuation of that celebration. Wow. And we are just so thrilled. It's a great cause. It's 3 Appalachian brands coming together to be a powerhouse, and doesn't get much better than that.
I know, and you're sold out.
Yeah, it's hard to find. When they first hit the shelves, there were like all these big, beautiful displays. There were tons of them, and now it's like you're lucky to find one, which is a good thing. It's not a bad problem. It's a good problem to have, I guess. But yeah, they are hard to find these days, it seems like.
Well, I want to tell you a real quick story about Tudors and Lola. Just you can share this with your bosses and everybody else. So Lola was doing an interview with Duff Goldman. You know Duff Goldman, Ace of Cakes, for about a year ago. And when she mentioned she was from West Virginia, he popped up, Tudors! I love Tudor. First things out of his mouth.
The most amazing biscuits, he said.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's crazy. You know, we are a West Virginia company. We are a little outside of those borders now. We've got some locations in Kentucky, Ohio. We even have one all the way down in Panama City, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yep, all the way in Florida. But it's so funny how much weight the Tudors name carries, right? You go to all these places all over the nation, and people recognize the name, and it's like we're just some... We started as a small Appalachian brand. We were able to ourselves, and it's crazy how many people love Tudors that don't even necessarily have it at the palm of their hand, you know?
Well, you know, we talk a lot about In-N-Out of burgers. I wonder if Tudors is the In-N-Out of the East Coast.
It could be. It's like the breakfast version, right?
Yeah. and I've had, you know, like the cabbage rolls and the just.
I love the fact you can get like a bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
As well as biscuits and gravy.
Well, that's something a lot of people sometimes don't know. You know, we're so known for our breakfast.
Yeah.
Of course, it's like, duh, Tudors, you go to Tudors for breakfast. But a lot of people don't always think about, you know, those lunch or those dinner items. Like you said, we used to have some cabbage rolls. We have meatloafs, baked steaks at some places.
Rick loves a good meatloaf.
Oh, I love good meatloaf.
Yeah, Tudors has a good one.
Meatloaf and gravy.
Yeah.
That's your next potato chip.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the potato chips are a beautiful side note of those items.
I'm telling you.
If you can find
them. Apparently, they're like gold nowadays.
I was like, oh, yay, I get to try these potato chips.
I didn't eat breakfast this morning because I wanted potato chips.
Listen, I couldn't bring the potato chips, but I did bring some real biscuits and gravy, hoping that would...
Yes.
That would maybe...
All is forgiven.
Thank you. I even brought some Ron and Mary B to join us, too, so you could have some options.
No.
So you don't get the chips today, and I promise, you can hold me to it. I'm saying it here. I promise you will get the chips. I promise we will mail you
We're recording this.
We're recording this
so you can hold me to it.
Yeah. Now you had mentioned tape. You mentioned when you came in, you said, I've been listening to you guys for 60 years now. But you listened to the early show. You grew up in this area.
I did. I am from Beckley. I'm an Independence graduate.
Go Patriots.
Go Patriots. Yep. Every single morning. I lived in Beckley, so it was a little bit of a drive for me out of district. But every morning I would listen to 103 CIR and I'd hear your morning show. And it was so funny when I got the opportunity to come meet you guys. I was like, this is actually so cool. I was like, I get to finally put faces to the voices that I've heard. And it's like I'm meeting little celebrities.
Well, yeah, no,
I love it. You guys are celebrities.
The faces, the voices, I'm really sorry.
No, it's not disappointing. I love it.
Tell people that don't, because you've been listening, but it's been 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And you never met me. Just tell them, he looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Little light in the hair.
Shorter hair.
Yeah, shorter hair.
Shorter hair. No, Brad Pitt.
They won't know. Well, it's just so nice to have you here. Again, we're big fans of the brand, big fans of the food, and now I do want to ask you this: have you had the potato chips?
I have.
Okay.
And I'm biased, so I'll go ahead and say my bias out of the way. But I think they're very good. They are not maybe what you would expect. I think that's kind of like the initial reaction.
Are they
people
more
have.
Sausagey?
Mm-hmm.
They got that sausage.
They have that
spice?
sausage flavor, and I think that's where that kind of biscuit and gravy, specifically Tudor's biscuit and gravy, because we have the sausage gravy. That's where it sort of shines through. Yeah. It's got that sausage flavor.
Okay.
And they're not like overpowering either. Like it's not like, oh whoa, that's so much. It's like a great balance. Mr. B's did a wonderful job at coming up with the recipe. They did a lot of testing, a lot of sampling, lots of eating biscuits and gravy. But they got very, very close, and it does remind you of a Tudor's biscuits and gravy. It does.
Well, let me ask you this, because I watch a lot of Food Network, so I know things like mouthfeel. I know the terms. So could you perhaps take the biscuits and gravy and crumble the biscuits and gravy potato chips on top to give that texture, that crunchy.
Like a little crunch to it. That would actually probably be very, very good.
Kind of like chips on a sandwich.
Exactly. It would add. They're salty. They've got a little pepper flavor. They've got some of that, like I said, those sausage notes. I think that would be really great. I haven't tried it myself, but that might be another.
That is your next
venture.
assignment.
Yeah.
Okay. Assignment A.
Yes. Assignment A. Assignment B. What wine goes best with?
Because another, I don't know if it's a local brand, but it's here in Beckley. Aldi's has got a new line of wines for $4.99 or less. $4.99. So I'm going to give you some options. You tell me which wine would you pair with the biscuits and gravy potato chips.
I'll give it a go.
Okay, Brut Sparkling, Cabernet Sauvignon, a Chardonnay, an extra dry sparkling, a Merlot, a Moscato, a pink Moscato, a Pinot Noir. Is that how you say it?
Pinot Noir.
A sweet red. Now, which wine would you pair with the biscuits and gravy potato chips?
I want to say, if you want to do a white wine, maybe your Sauvignon Blanc. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc.
And then maybe if you wanted to do a red, like a Merlot. I feel like you don't want to go super sweet with it because it might be too powering.
It's the sausage that pairs with the Merlot. That's where I was going.
If you want to do a red. And I'm not super wine knowledgeable, so to say. I like a glass here and there, that's for sure. But I think those two would probably pair pretty nicely.
Well, now look, you are from Raleigh County, so obviously you know beer.
I used to be a waitress, so I do know a thing or two about beer.
Which beer would you pair with? Would you do a lager, a light, a stout, or what do you think?
Oh, wow.
You can never go wrong with like a lager. I feel like lagers pair nicely with most things. I personally like dark beers myself sometimes, so I would maybe go with like a porter or maybe a stout there, just to kind of add a little bit of a bitterness, like a bite to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Listen, man, this has been nice. This has been fun.
This has been so much fun. And I have to say, Mr. B's is a West Virginia small business, and they have like 70 employees.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that they're sold out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. B is just like Tudors, which is why this made so much sense. They really pride themselves on giving back to their communities, and they want to, support the communities that support them. And so this was a fun way that they were kind of able to do both, right? They introduced a fun chip. It's exciting. It's new. It's something to get those taste buds going, of course. And then on top of that, it goes to a great cause, right? All of this is going to go back to the children here in West Virginia specifically. All of the money raised will go towards West Virginia Wishes. That's awesome. Not only is it something that's fun and exciting and maybe even a little goofy to some people, something that you get to try that you don't always get to try, but it also goes to just such a great cause, and it can make a big difference, and that's exciting.
Yeah, the fact that you partnered with Make-A-Wish, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say you're welcome anytime you want to come in.
Anytime you want to come in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This has been wonderful. I've had so much fun.
Yeah, so have I. And normally they're not fun. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, good. That's on the record, too.
Right,
it's been recorded.
We are holding you to that. We expect those chips. I'm going to send a little note with all,
Now, let me ask this real quick. Are you planning another run? Is this going to be like
a one and done?
A one and done, or there will be more?
So we haven't. Maybe. That's the easiest way to say it. So Mr. B's, the way that they're kind of looking at it, from my understanding, is if people are buying the chips, why stop making them?
Yep.
Right.
And so I think right now it is a limited time, so definitely does have an ending point at this moment, but we're not 100% sure when that's going to be. Okay. So as long as people are still purchasing them, I think Mr. B's will continue to provide them, and if it's something you want to see long term, let them know.
Let them know. Send them a message from Rick and Lola. You can't purchase them if you can't find them.
I know, right?
We need more. We need more.
Have a little rack there.
I'm thinking that it must just be in between. Maybe they're getting another shipment soon, and we must have just missed the first one or something.
Let's hope it do.
Oh, please.
Can't wait to try
these. Cannot wait. Liz, Epling, thank you so much for joining us, and we are keeping all of that food in the studio because I ain't sharing with those guys down the hall. I mean, it just ain't happening.
Yeah, that's right.
It ain't happening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
It's been a blast.
It's the Early Show. Good morning.